Okay, let's talk indexes here. Okay, um, so we actually have the 150-day support for the indexes now, which is the first time since way back here. So, you know, right here it touches it here. So it touches the 150-day EMA, bounces off the 150-day SMA. So this could actually turn around here. And I could see actually now people buying here as the first time it bounces off a long-term moving average. Regardless, let's look at IWM here. Look at this. It's kind of like this, and you do have support at the 50-day also. Okay, now see here the support in the 50-day. Look what happens. Although this looks better here. You have you know you know. Okay, let me stop saying that. Pinches all of them. Okay, I love this kind of setup here. Um, whereas now it feels a little more loosey goosey. So, uh, but the point is the 10 is sort of now above the 20 now, and here's hourly. I don't know. I kind of almost expect it to uh, kind of build a little inverted, base here, right? Just a little round bowl, whatever. Before it gets going. Now it may not. It may just go here and go like this because I'd say show you DJI, but they charge money for that. So um, one day, that's the DJI 50,000. Um, Gosh, are ugly things, aren't they? Anyways, so that's what's driving stuff now. I keep thinking you can have Rocket or SpaceX this year and OpenAI IPOs, and I guess I would not expect normal IPOs to move the market, but those are two special cases, right? Greatest IPOs in the last 10 years potentially. So, anyways, so let's look at what's going on through. I've looked through different. Well, that's a lot. Um, Whoa. I'm gonna try and go fast. Okay, Redwire is just kind of interesting because you have all this compressing together, but it's not like a setup yet. It's just potentially here at some point when it gets tighter. I don't know why Rocket Lab is on here. This could be a 50-day reclaim. I have to look at this, but this is why you just go back and look. Okay, this was a long end of a downtrend, but when it crosses how many times it crosses the 50-day, does it go up again? Well, that was one of the best ones. And I say crossing, but here it starts above it, okay? These do not start above. They're trying to get through. Uh, then this is a kind of an ugly looking flag, but anyways. Um, so they never touches the 50 there. And then you get a 50-day bounce on here and here, and then some compression, and then up 50-day. I bought here. So it does feel like it's way down steeper this time, but I think at some point this will do it. And I will be buying this. So I'll mark it here. If it starts above it, uh, what's likely to do is see these ones here is it's gonna just kind of get trapped underneath them, and then eventually might get going. But considering its track record, I should probably just do it. Okay, so airlines are a thing right now, and this is one of the things kind of holding up market sentiment right now. These things are just going straight up, like when the market's been going down. Okay, uh, look at this one. So these are very tradable at some point, and you can see this was a flag right here. Okay, I was not really trading on these days. Up 20%. Southwest has not slowed down since it had its earnings, but it's up 25%. This would be a pretty good one, I think. ADR is only 4. The next stop would probably be this. Um, okay, guys. JetBlue, although, so this is the 150 day, it looks like right here. Okay. And not entirely convinced. I need to get better at those. But it's going to stop here and here. And so ADR6 is pretty good. So chances are, it might even go up 50% here. We're gonna see, and that'll give a good point at some point, maybe in a few weeks or something. I think this aluminum stock, because Cenex is the other aluminum one. This is hideous. I would never trade something that hideous. Again, pretty is good. And so with Cenex having gone, and you get this compression all three, this is reasonably good. The other chance, well, especially if it starts here or something, but it's also and it even has some 50 days sort of support here potentially. So I guess I will look at this and determine how synchronized is it with the other one. Because if it's like a few days apart historically, then it's a good sign. But I think if it starts above the 20-day here, and it's got this 20-day simple moving average, not too concerned about that. But um, so it might even pull back in here for another week or something before it gets going. But I think it looks reasonable. Carvana, I'm also watching for the 50 day on this guy. The 50, the 50, 10, 10, 30, 20, 20. So on a 50 day, like, there's just a lot of them here. But I really would want it to start above it. See like here. See, this one doesn't start above it. Um, not the best setup in my opinion, but anyways. Um, I would like this to come closer together for another week or two, but just me. I'm not going to trade something like this, but um, that tells you why. But yeah, watching. Look at this one. This is not like a clean breakout because it's not really clear where it's like. Let's try in here. Then people realize it's probably going here. It's just interesting, 130%. But it's biotech. Not trading it, just learning. Moderna is interesting. This one I've noticed back here, it kind of makes flags like this. I just gotta see. Oh, there's some news there, it looks like. So, again, biotech. But this one has huge potential to go up like 300%. This is one of those special cases, down 95%. I should put the minus 95. Okay. You guys want to turn to the this had this I talked about this the other day. So it had 3.5 billion in revenue the last quarter, now it's 6.5 in one quarter, and then there was a $3 billion or 150%, 55% surprise. I don't know why this thing didn't take off. You can see this pretty massive volume coming in, and the earnings were a surprise too. But I don't know. Maybe gold is regular gold is a little bit like uncertain, and that's pulling it down. I don't know. but I'm in this, and so this could do one of two things. This could just like pop up and just do your typical AB pattern, or just like an S, okay? Or this could come in here and build a flag for another week or two, and then it would be tradable. I would not buy it just on this S curve if that was unless that was the nature of the stock, and I don't really see that. So, uh, this is pretty cool. 12-year base. Look at that. Look at that. This could go up 4,000%. I just realized this. Okay, this is super interesting to me. The question is this sufficient flag? The real answer is no. Not in my book. But I will. Okay, the problems, there's couple problems. One, like the 10-day really hasn't caught up. Okay, and the second problem is you have kind of this high day in here, and so it's best if it's either a tighter candle, like this or this or this, or it came down on there was a red day here, right? But this is a green, so it's just, but it's pushing them against all these four lines or touch points, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will trade this if it goes up. So this is high priority. Looking for those 1,000% ones, and you don't recognize. I've not recognized them. ASTS. This is actually potentially a setup. Let's just kind of my compression setup, but I like them tighter than this. So um, these are still pretty far apart. It's definitely interesting, but this could, but basically start here and go like this. I can find some. Lemonade. This is, I don't know, not too long ago. This is not really good. I would not have traded that one, but at the end it failed anyways. So maybe it's a sign that uh, like, that's not exactly what I'm looking at. Where this looks a little bit more like the Carvana setup, but not quite. Hmm. I can't seem to find any of this that looks random stock. A couple years ago, Lemonade. See, that's all of them, but these are again a lot closer together. Carvana 2023, not quite, but I mean, so this is more my concern. Is it looks like this. This is Carvana. It doesn't feel that tight looking, and it does that. But 2 weeks later, you get this, and mind you, in here there was these other ones, right? Two more. Here I guess there's only one, and now you get 150-day support, and that ended up being good. But this looks better than the 50-day. Man, nuance. Anyways, comparing this, I will say no. I mean, there's nothing overhead, but it was probably like the buy day was probably like here. This one actually seems better. Um, feels more tight here. A lot more of a springy feel to it to me. OSS, same kind of issue here. Seagate. Wow. Yeah, this thing. I sold my Seagate. Did I? It was reasonable considering the market trend, but this could take off. Um, I don't know. I don't like it that much, but um, same with SanDisk. I might jump back in on that. So, uh, this is. I don't think 3D metal printing is a big theme right now. There's a couple stocks in that, but so just it's pretty ugly. But this one's interesting. Again, this compression kind of deal. The carrot works. And now that I see, let's draw. Is that how you draw this one? Okay, and this is interesting because this one can go up 100% in a month, all-time high. There's no overhead. Let's look at the weekly chart in case like this. Somewhat compelling because you have an inside week. It does feel like a pretty good wick size though. Huh. So it's reasonable. And then another line of my draws like this. So, guys. Okay, CLS is incredibly good money making stock that I wish I would have owned. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Weekly chart. That was the buy point, see? You could be making 200% per year for lesser. You'd be at 2,500%. Wow. See, that's why you have to draw pictures. Notice the rate at which it comes up and the rate it goes down. Okay. All right. What do we got here? Is this like a 50-dayer? Look at the yellow. There's the 50-day, but 50-day simple is blocking. Okay. There you get the 150, 50, 100. Wow. And you get that kind of move. How does this look? Well, not as good, but it is interesting. This could be the beginning of a 50-day trend. See, here it's tried it, but I didn't like it. Here, I didn't feel comfortable either. Let's look at the weekly chart. That actually looks pretty good on the weekly. So, I think this one could be ready. Mind you, if you buy on the weekly, that's at 13%. Anyways, it looks good. All right. Usually the second time I go through them, I see a little differently. Like I thought this is interesting before because this could actually be building another setup. But it's gold, and gold itself is kind of in this state. Now I did notice something else about here. That just blow off top. and then it came down. Look at this compression. It went up and it failed right here. I remember that. But then this was like the next setup right here, which again, I don't like gold that much. But I guess that was a great time to buy. Supposedly. Now it doesn't get volume, it looks like. Here it does, but I just don't think of this as a good setup. But this one could have been right here. Um, yeah. Let's see, it'll do this, like go up and then come down here. Uh, anyways, so we got some time on this one for sure. Try and see. Shark Ninja. This needs some time still, I suppose, but it does weird stuff. It's my goal to own some of this someday, but if it looks good, yeah. I thought uranium was looking interesting here, but it's one of the concepts, though. Is remember, the steeper down, the less the less bullish it is because it's likely to go up here and just kind of stop here and then make a sideways flag. So especially when the market's like sideways or down, okay, this is an important concept. Uh, this hasn't been really holding that strong in my opinion, but we do have this 50-day support. So underneath all the moving averages, so this is not unreasonable. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I don't know, maybe a 3. And again, if we look back and see how it moves, does it move like that? I don't see a lot of evidence that it moves like that. That's a 150-day bounce on this one here, but yeah, let's turn that off. It doesn't really. Um, that's an ugly looking flag there, but I think it needs some more time. But this could just pop up here or something. Don't like it that much, but whatever. Same with this gold stock. This is incredible. 80%. This is like HYMC. This kind of reminds me of this. How come we didn't buy over here, guys? 400% in a year. Again, I want either a tighter candle or, especially inside, or a red day here. It's not ready, but it's interesting. Just gonna be watching that one. All right. Lemonade's been a kind of terrible stock, but lately. But I'm noticing where it likes to recover. Where does it recover? What color lines does it use to recover? Notice the color of the line. It doesn't seem the same though now, but this stuff is too far. But I don't just. Okay, so shipping. I debate buying some UPS to hold it as it comes up. Yeah, you can see what I'm talking about. My long account, my buy and hold account, this is one where I could add a little bit, but I don't know. What's the story on Movano here? Well, this is if you want to make money, you gotta do the work. Um, there we go. Um, this could be one of those year-long deal. Like, I don't know, it goes up 1,000% or something. Not as compelling though. I don't know why not, but it could make a short-term monster move here. I just don't think it's ready. But it's touching that 10-day on top. You see that? Look at the weekly. Yeah, look at that. Stuck under the 50 week. Look at that. Which is, I think, probably going to be the same as 250-day. Purple one. Don't know. This could be interesting at some point. How about some TPL? 100% in 2 weeks. No. Oil is not very easy sometimes. I don't really see flags. There's one here at the top, but it's over. Like, it's already been going for so long. This is like bouncing off 20-day. So I suppose that's where you buy this thing. This is a flag, but it doesn't even. It's there's no real strong momentum here. I think that's the problem. That's only well, that's I don't know. That wasn't bad, but whatever. Where does this? I don't see setups on here. I mean, this would be it. This is the only one that worked, basically. Um, Bouncing off the 20-day, it looks like. But I mean, buying when it's coming down like this, that's scary. Um, Anyways, not the fastest. So yeah, I don't know. Eating while I work. Um, oh, what's this? That's pretty interesting. Um, I look back at this one. This is 50-day. Um, Seems to do well. Not saying we can't buy it. Like even the 20-day looks like it's kind of touching it there, sort of. But so this could be a flat flag. There's no overhead ever. DHT Maritime. I do have some of those actually. I bought some. I do think this has this potential to go up a couple 100%. Excuse me. Why take forever? Um, this one's not ready, but this could be interesting. That 70% move. I bought it here. Ended up selling it here. Yeah, I made some money, but nothing special. Uh, so, yeah, it needs to just be more tight and something. Look at this semiconductor. This doesn't even care. Now I'm eating while I'm doing this, so excuse the mouthful. I remember reading Weinstein saying if you get charts go back more than a year or something, these books. But now I'm looking at like 10-year charts, 20-year charts, and realizing how valuable it is in some cases. All right. It just comes down to the 20-day again. I might buy some. Depends what I got going on. Super interesting. But let me look at the 50. I mean, here's a 50-day, right? Starts above it, goes down. Kind of yucky. But you also have this base, so it's reasonable. And it eventually fails here, so it's just not very good on the 50-day, I guess. Um, Here's a 50-day. Mind you, it's been touching it for weeks underneath. Again, read Weinstein. If you haven't read it, read again. It's only two books I read are Weinstein and Scriptures lately. I mean, not really. It's just the only books I read over more than once, I guess. So why has this always been a difficult one on the 50-day? Um, I don't know. It's just been a lot of overhead. But now we got this base. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. It still feels kind of loose, so I don't know. It's interesting, but let's look at the weekly. Um, Also, kind of interesting on the weekly, you have this tight candle with this long wick. Often means the end of a downtrend when you see that. So this could be interesting. And again, with no overhead here, just not the best looking kind of stock. You could go up 200% over some period of time. The only question is what day. I prefer something tighter. This still feels loosey-goosey to me a little bit. Mm. Let's look at the 100-day, I guess. 100. It does like it for support, that's for sure. So here's the support. ASML. Well, that was a stock to hold for a long time. Oh, 20% for 20 years. You know, you know who owns this? Well, I thought it was somebody, but well, it's pulling back off, so it's gonna build some sort of, I think, more of a flag setup. I mean, you know, this is technically potentially a flag here, but not really. Just straight down. It's gonna probably build like a zone here, be tradable. Something like this. You know, I saw this. Um, is this a breakout? It sort of is, but it's not. Like, it just didn't get to this zone here, and with so many touches there, it probably is, but I don't know. Again, I wasn't really trading this kind of stuff in the last week, so it's just so this could continue up here, or this could pull back, which would be good for a few more days. So just try like that. Again, sometimes if you wait for this, you're too late. So this is actually pretty nice here. This I just don't see the volume, which is not always necessary, but it is confirmation. It's really, really valuable. But it does. Oh gosh, I messed up this EP. 17%. You know, I gotta look for EPs. EPs have been pretty good lately. I say pretty good, but you know, selectively good. A few cases like Terradime's great. You know, AMD loves 150 day, and so even the 100 days went pretty good. But just keep it from crashing, I guess. This is way down here. I don't know. It's just not very good looking. Again, is this a case of my compression setup? Um, Skywater is interesting from a long-term perspective, and it may be starting to recover here a little bit. This is where I learned not to invest here, but again, this is really wide. I could do that, but it's not very good looking. I'm not actually trading. I'm just watching this. Wow, I saw this one. Look at Master. Down on this day, up this day, up 25% in basically one day. This could be the beginning, but we'll have to wait for some setups. There's a base here forming. That could be interesting potentially. Compass. I don't know if this is not a really big theme right now, anyways, but this is interesting. I don't know what the story is. I gotta look this up. I keep saying that. This is a spinoff from Honeywell. Um, BNAI could build a base in here. We'll see here. Next power. Um, Some might have even called this a breakout here, but pretty ugly looking deal. And then we have this too, so Amazon, yeah. This doesn't feel like a setup to me, but I mean, it looks good on the hourly, I think. Yeah. I don't know. It's not bad, but not great. Lumen, wow. Drops 25%, comes up 30. That's really a good sign, like, but whatever, in the long term. Look at the weekly chart here. Wick. All right. This could be interesting at some point. Oh, this has made big moves, but gosh, I'm so mad for missing it here. I wonder why I didn't get this one. Great. Got the slowdown going on again. So here you see this day got really tight. This was a breakout day, and then it almost failed the next day, and then it really got going again the second time here. Maybe I wasn't trading that down or something. And then that is really good. But third step up, so that's not great. And then you have this crazy action. Again, trekking, 33% in a few days. I don't know what the catalyst is. Uh, Mind you, like when it did before, it never really went to the next level, but it has traded well in the past. That's actually pretty good looking, huh? That's kind of sketchy. For me, at least. Then there's that little mini flag, I guess, and then that's how we got in. Kind of slower, but pretty good. Can be. Wow, look at that one. So, and if you're looking at it, you're thinking, this is the day, but this is the right day before. And it does this crazy stuff. And now it starts above the line. This is, I mean, that's not too bad. 3% wick, it can be for some of us. But back in the old days, I didn't know how to keep it still. All right. Well, look at this. 29% compound. What is this nuts? I need to look at this deal. It's definitely not the time to be buying for long term, but any company that makes 30% per year has my attention. Look at this volume on this week. $5 billion. I don't know if we had some earnings here, probably. Yeah, that's why I try and think about some of these things a little more carefully sometimes. I don't. That was interesting. Another trucking company. This is pretty quick right now. PL actually faster than the other one, but we get this base here, so chances are I don't know. It's gonna be a while anyways before it's ready, if it's ready. Fluence Energy. Oh. So I draw these because when it crosses, it tosses sometimes. This DPST thing, banks. I have no idea why banks are. These are regional banks, 3x. Okay, so I really don't like this one so much. I feel like it's unreliable. But here you see this fake out move, and then there's this flag right there. I don't know. Probably some Fed news or something. But there's an interesting base, right? So if you get started this base, multi-year base, this could be really interesting. So that's is that multi-year? I don't know. 3 years. Base. Dixie. Dix's. How do you say that? Okay. So this is, you see this. Maybe that's a line too. Oh, okay. So, okay, wait a minute. Okay. Final walkthrough. I'm going to say no to Rocket Lab. So each time I go through one, I want you to rate them first. Okay, so the only problem with this 50 day, anyways, I don't know, kind of bending down still. Whereas like this, you see it's kind of bending up. That's a big difference. So it could pop up here and maybe just kind of go sideways for a couple weeks, and then it'd be interesting. All right, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh wait, hydrate this one. I should probably start doing this too. I'm gonna say this is 4, maybe 4-star. Does help. Again, with the other one having gone, again, drawbacks is that 20. Let's look here at Cenex. See, there was no 20 day above this anymore. That's interesting. Look at that. Is that retarded looking? I know that term's out of fashion now, but I like to use it. Is that? Okay, anyways. But especially nice if it started above that, or at least close to it. But, Carvana is always tempting now that I've discovered the secret. It may take some more time to get there, but it may not. ADR7. Well, and it's got 150 day support just underneath it, so that's pretty nice. Some kind of issue, but I don't know. I'm gonna call this 3.5. Moderna, it's, this is biotech. But what I can do is see, does it ever have bad news that causes it to drop? Not in a downtrend. Again, that's you wouldn't be in the stock this entire time, so. It doesn't seem that, unless I'm going too fast, it's ever had a drop. Again, unless it's underneath moving averages, okay? After a big uptrend. No, no. No, no. No, no. Go to the 2-day chart. This is kind of interesting, though. What do you think? It's got the weeklies above them, but whatever. It's not pretty far up there. One of the negatives is it's kind of bends down, but like I said, see how it likes to move. Now you could think this is an entry day, and it was. And people buy in here as it tries to cross through this. But this, if you go back here, last time it was an uptrend, major. Wow, those look pretty cool. Well, I guess it doesn't really, like it does sometimes here, but that's not something I'd probably be trading, right? Maybe that's a base breakout here. So not really good, but it's somewhat compelling, I find. Maybe I should just scale like 1 to 10. I don't know about this one. Kind of different. Weird. I don't really like it that much, but yeah, this one doesn't seem. I'm gonna say no, but everything about it I like, except for this candle here. So I think if it gaps up here, I will. Um, it should come back, really should come back down one more time. And it could like jump up here and then crash. So Um, SanDisk, which I sold in here. Um, Probably needs one more day or two. And I might jump back in. Oh. Keeps touching this. This is basically the 10-day, 69 hours. I don't know why it doesn't match these always, but it's hitting there and people are buying there. I'm gonna say this is like a, what do you say? 4, 3.5. I just like it more because it's SanDisk, but the hourly chart's actually pretty interesting, right? Like, it gives a little bit more clarity. So I'm pretending that data matters. It's like, it kind of feels like that's what's got to happen there. Like, it might come in here for another day or two, start to bend up, and then the next day. Like, it'd be awesome to get one more day here inside. It is red. It's got the 10-day support here pushing up. So I will trade this one. Probably with what I sold it for, which is pretty big. You know, Seagate is kind of the same story here. So this is the 45% move. Percent. This is kind of a sideways flag here at this point. On the looks of it, again, like SanDisk, I would prefer, I don't know why. And it does have one, look at these higher lows. 1, 2, almost 3. And this could just come up like this. Boom. Or it could come down like for another day or two. Which I would prefer. But it's like SanDisk, you know, I don't know, for pros and cons. Grail. I don't know. It's pretty decent. It's got this, got all this overhead here. And if we look back at previous moves, so there's that compression. So I don't need to have a really tight candle if it's this kind of setup, but what was I looking for? Is that a, wow. How does this, what do the flags look like on this one? That was, is that a flag? Alright, the kids are arguing again. You gotta figure that one out. That's a lot harder than stocks. This is pretty good looking, don't you think? Why didn't I trade it then? Oh. I don't know. It's not the best. We'll call it like a 3. This is only cool because all these are compressed. All you need is that little yellow 50D out of the way. That's weekly. Not the most obvious looking thing to me. But if it goes, see here it tried. Is this one any different? Let's do this. Yeah. I don't know. How is this different? The only thing I see different, what I look for sometimes is this like starting to bend up? Whereas here, I mean, they kind of bending up a little, but not really. And again, this had the 50 simple. And this is real ugly here to me. Overall, I just don't know. Like, this kind of ruins it for me. So, although it might work, I'm not going to give it a very high score. I like to give a high score because of the name. But it may, like, just kind of go sideways for a few days and then, like, have a little more clear setup or something. The weekly chart's not, like, it's good, it's strong. But I don't see a real setup there. That's great. Should take this off anyways. Yeah, this one's not ready in my opinion. We need 1 or 2 more days. This one looks pretty fun. It feels smoother than some of the, like than this one. Right? See that?
Clear the hallway first.
Take them off. Again, because this one's so far down, I'd rather wait for a like a bottom base thing, you know, like this. Even though this was not something I was able to trade successfully because it like failed here and then.
Enoch, Jackson, and James. Enoch, Elijah, and James. Enoch, Elijah, and James. Enoch, Elijah, and James, come here now.
For this to be good, again, instead of issue, really need 1 more day of pause right here. Gosh. Right. But, you know, this doesn't do anything really obvious ever, in my opinion. Anyways.
I don't know who these two from.
That was like a surprise there. Let's see. Let me just pause it. Okay, having looked back last couple of years, the only time this thing is profitable is like crossing this 150-day or these 50-day touchdowns. So So, anyways. Okay, rate this one. Like, it's still really loose. Like, it's sure they're all moving together. They're angling up, but it's not like, I don't know. Here, they're close together. And that's just, they're really far apart. I don't know. That could be a weekly, but I really don't like it. So, again, this could also be built some sort of base in here. Okay, this is probably the better bet on this one. So, I can't understand how this one would, like, again, no volume, but it's like kind of a weird potential breakout on that. So, yeah, I do talk about this. It's interesting. Like I said, it could work, but it's not. It doesn't follow my rules of some sort of tightness or red or something on the day before. Like this could have been tradable here, but if this is the I was looking at before, so yeah, definitely not tradable. If anything, it can build like a little mini flag off the next couple days. This one overall, I think looks really good. How smooth it is and everything. So, just thinking about this one. Some kind of issue. Just if it starts like here or here, I might. But I'm gonna call this 3.5, depending where it starts. Amazon, I'm gonna look at I own some Amazon. I sold it here because it wasn't looking good. I might buy some, I'll sell it tomorrow. Jimmy. I don't know. I've seen lots of these just where it's like really wide and then just these progressively smaller candles. Generally, I find they don't work too well, but it looks pretty good. What's the initial move here, though? Not very big, 22%. But I'm willing to take a little bit of risk on this for the current theme. So I might call this like 3.5. Okay, we're back to the beginning here. So.
No, go the other hallways. Go the other hallways. No, nobody go inside. Kids, get inside.
I suppose if it starts above all these moving averages, it might, but that's super unlikely. So, I just got to organize them now. So, this is the problem. I missed stuff. It's a 1 year base. which is enough time. And this is down. It's down 95% from here to here alone. This is compelling for the long-term potential of this thing to come back up to there. This is what I often think about. And if it goes up, let's say like this, and it's annualizing at 700% per year or something. And if it gets more momentum, I don't know. If it goes slower, it's still 170% per year at that speed. Would I hold on to that long? Yeah, I don't know. I might trim at peaks and buy the dips, right? So that's what I should do. Of course, there's the problem with drawings. Okay, watch. Oh, now it looks tight. That's the problem. Well, if there's a way to fix that. Maybe this depends on the ADR or something. So if this takes off, this could be like 100% 2 months again. Let's look at this long-term chart here. Let's see. So that was great to own there. Wow. Satellite. Yeah.
Don't do that. You can.
Again, this is like a 4.5 for the potential and the momentum and the cleanliness of the direction, but it's like a 2-star on the setup right now. Again, unless it just clears this and goes up like that. So I'm going to call it 4. This is way better looking here. See how tight that is. Just this, I don't know. Yeah, possibility, like I said, it goes up. STX, same issue, just
You guys need to be quiet in the hallway.
now I'm sure I'm gonna miss a dozen stocks that have better looking setups, but I didn't see them. These are tighter, a little more compelling, but now, really, one more day. Preferred. Why am I looking at this one? See, this looks terrible now. It needs to like have a much tighter candle. It's fine. One more day, really, please. Please, one more day. Same with this. Yeah, same with this. This I don't even know. Be nice if it was like one more or something. It'll start to bend up first. Yeah, maybe everything needs one more day. And this could just pop up tomorrow. And then it'd be like more like a 4-star to me. But I hasn't been making a lot of money. It's just I got some capital sitting around, so yeah, especially if it starts here, this is really the ideal area. So maybe I'll make 2 alerts. Alright, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think maybe 3 of them are really good. 3 or 4. Like perfect. I don't know. Not even perfect. Why do I even look at this rocket lab? 150 day. Yeah, I might try that. Again, it's not angled up, but it could be if it starts here and ends the day but up on top. But it's likely just to be the first one, since it's like recovering. I don't know. I gotta look at. This is the only example I could find. I'm sure there's more, but I didn't spend a lot of time. Comes down, goes underneath the 50 day, and then does this, and it has all these other stuff in it. And I do think I could do like half in the morning and half at night or something like this. Then my risk is, I don't know if that's improved actually. The day before, is this moving down? Let's see. It's kind of going down just a hair. This one's going up actually. But you do see there's another opportunity. So now it's underneath almost all of them. And this is above it, but it's not really angled down. So maybe I wait for that. So, because now look at them, they're all angling up. I just make this up as I go. Isn't that great? And notice it doesn't look like a regular flag, right? It's just, this is a reclaim of a moving average, right? It loses, comes back. And sometimes it doesn't like that. You should always have an alert, set alert, condition, crossing up, moving average, and maybe crossing down too. I don't know. You know, the only features that I like on their crossing down is on T2000. The only feature I need on their most expensive plan is having more than 100 alerts. This is the world's hardest video game. So, I guess if it opens above all of them. So, I will watch this pre-market or above at least that 50. Okay. I will accept that. It could start here and kind of start going through. So, like I said, it's got this 150 day support too, but you know, feels a little premature. But this was probably over exaggerated too. I love how it came down touched it, and then just went back up. But then a few days later, it comes back down. If I ever do buy these, I usually sell half by like the end of the first day. Pretty rare. What's the weekly look like? You know, the weekly's kind of interesting. You see this this is a pretty cool candle here, and then there's a big wick, right? So you get all this overhead. Sometimes you see these weird flags. I don't see it here. I mean, that's not what we're really looking for, but the other option is that it goes up and it takes another week or 2 weeks to start recovering. This would be the only biotech I've traded in, I don't know, years maybe, if I did. It just doesn't seem great, but you know, ASTI looks pretty interesting, doesn't it? I can't believe I got stopped out by 1%. Maybe that was 5%. I don't know. What are my favorites? Not Rocket Lab. Could be A. Uh, none of them. None of them are my favorite. That's the unfortunate reality. So one more diff. I don't like how they get tight, like so short. This to me doesn't feel like legit, but let me see if it has a flag like that. Look at this interesting flag on Seagate. No real tight day, but just tight against this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it does that. Now WDC, I did sell it when it crossed down here. But you know, it's interesting is it never stopped below the 10-day. So technically I would still be in. So now that I look at it, this could be a flag. Sold it here, so it's not like a big deal. It's like 6%. So really needs one more day. It does, and then what's nice too is when you get this 1, 2, 3 touch points. Maybe if it comes down to where I bought it or I sold it here, I'll just buy back what I had there. That's pretty smart. Well, maybe not. Let's add this to my list. STX. Yeah, this could be this one of the better ones overall, I think, just because it's made a big move and now it's just kind of getting tight in here. It could be Besu though.
blood on this.
So it opens here and it comes back to this. I will buy. This is my new secret method.
Move out of there.
It's hard for me to be distracted by all this slower moving stuff, but I do own some Joe. And yeah.
Whatever state you see, I go to the in the front side. Yes. Bye.
So
What? What is it? Black.
uh,
Just take the whole box then.
I don't know. Again, it needs this. Really should. So I think it starts above here. I don't know.
That's where it should just say.
I probably will, but it starts in here and it tries to go through right now. And again, yeah, this is just not. I don't know. Sometimes I like my compression setups here, but this is pretty straight down. So yeah, there's nothing I really love in here. Again, it's just kind of just coming down. We got this potential compression turnaround. It's diarrhea, Mars. Okay. So here's doing it too, right? Like, but it's really tight against the 20-day, and it's short-lived. It looks like. That's pretty messy looking. Whatever went on there. Like that was good, I guess. As a base. Oh, that too.
You have your shower on.
Uh,
Okay. It's like water.
See, this one has a much better turnaround here. Not a good looking overall, but.
You need a shower. Well, we can have a shower. Mama, I need a shower.
I don't know. It's just not that great looking yet. Maybe another week or something. I don't know.
I know. At least you can get a shower and things.
Again, if it, I don't know if it gaps up or something, maybe. So. Yeah.
Go to the bathroom, guys. Go to the shower. Go to the bathroom.
You know,
Go to the bathroom.
with all these kind of touch points, although these are not really in line, this may actually be the better looking one. Again, needs really one more, two more, anything. But let's look here. The stuff I record on these videos. You know. So kind of a breakout and then monster. So it's kind of a similar one, maybe. But that's early on. Here we're kind of way up there now, so really it should come back down to the 20-day for a while. This is technically the 46% a month. This is the first step, so by that definition, it's way above all these, but it's been going on for months. So in some sense, this could be coming to a top. This is risky. Let's see STX. See what it's the same. Yeah. That was so annoying right here. So this could be a new beginning. This is better than Western Digital on that front, I guess. But so we're coming back to the hard drives. I could swear I had more interesting stuff. So that's my problem. I prefer if everything has a little more time. I mean everything. Like if this came down to here or something. Amazon might be the only thing I buy. So, so looking back at Cenex, if you notice here, there's actually like these higher lows forming, and this was just crazy looking to me. But then I think this is what actually happened. So you do get these once in a while. I don't really like them. Maybe that's that in there too. So drawing them across where it touches the points the most. But that was good. But this, it's crazy. But if anything, this will build maybe another opportunity. Um, week broke through the weekly 150. Look at this. This thing is gonna go. I bought some. I'm trying to trade oil differently. Much smaller amounts, and then have like a wider stop loss. But don't copy me. I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe Grail's better than I thought. I don't know.
As long as you're done folding your body's clothing.
Look at this weeklies here.
Did you fold your clothes too?
Oh, look at that one. So you can come straight down. That's like really tight, and then springing up through something. I don't know. There's just such a big wick on it. I trust it more. Maybe this needs another week. A wickless week. So you can see here, I tried. Yeah, I think it needs more compression. This is probably a harder stock unless you get it like here. It only made a 20% move. And that was the dummy. And I saw a lot of overhead. Oh, wait a minute. Now I see this. Left, bottom, right. Okay. Those are good. If you can spot them. If you can spot them at the bottom.
Who's in the laundry room, Star? You know?
Yeah, higher lows. Let's like look at this versus STX. Yeah, guess they're comparable. It's daily. Maybe look hourly on this chart. That's interesting.
James Lely wants to go play with the neighbors, but he doesn't. He's still just searching for them, but he doesn't go knock on the doors yet.
I've seen this, and these seem to be kind of fakeish. I don't know. It looks like it looks like a breakout, and then just. What can I say? I really need to focus on SanDisk. Look at that. Same thing. I could buy in here because I didn't need to sell. So I might just buy a small position either way. Or if it does something else I like. Okay. Well, trying to get better by thinking more, but we'll see.